Okay. So since I've gotten so much feedback on my video about 15 hours of community service, I'm going to break it down to you very simply why I'm so against it, okay? First of all, I already have to take care of my 7 kids, okay? That is my service. Okay, that's me contributing to society. Why would I go to a place and have to do mandatory hours when they can control when I have to show up? They can control which days a week I have to do those hours. They can control whether or not I can use my phone during those hours. Those are 3 guidelines that I'm not willing to comply with. I don't care, and that should not put me at risk of losing my $2,700 in food stamps at all. So y'all are sitting here jumping down my case because I'm like pretty much on strike for doing these 15 hours.
Listen, a lot to unpack here. A lot. So let's just take this chunk by chunk. Because first off, she mentioned that she has 7 kids, and that basically that was her contribution to society. She shouldn't have to contribute any further, right? Did y'all catch that? Or do we need to listen to it again? Because she said, me having my 7 kids and taking care of them is already my contribution to society. That is not true. That is that is us having to help you take care of the 7 kids, which is actually draining society a little bit. As well as, let's just say half of them, right? We don't even have to be extreme and say all of them are going to continue to cycle and be on government assistance. And it's probably a good chance all of them aren't. But let's just say 3 of them do. Then that's more people taking advantage of the system when they get older because kids watch what you do. They don't just listen to what you say. So if that's what they see, if that's how they see you survive and was able to, move through life, then what makes us think that that's not going to be the route that they also see as a viable option? But also, she has like these stipulations and just these principles that she will not cross. One, she won't have somebody, telling her where she has to be, when and where, right? Then two, if they say that if she works a job that she can't have her phone, then that's an issue. She's got all these things that's, non-starters. So you can't get mad when the government decides to make stipulations that are non-starters. At that point, you're just at a stalemate because things are going to be fair. Listen, if you have certain rules that you won't cross and the government has put down certain regulations that they say this is how it's going to be, well, then I guess you just have to come up with some creative ways of how you're going to be able to figure it out from there. Because 15 hours, I heard in some places this 20, but 15 hours of community service, shoot, I don't see what the issue is.
Let me tell you something about y'all people that like to call yourself black. Ever since the government shut down and they started talking about cutting food stamps, y'all been making jokes, thinking everything funny. What about that single mother that don't got nothing but food stamps to feed her 5 kids, her 6 kids, her 7 kids? What about those kids, man? Them kids gonna go hungry. While y'all on the internet making jokes, laughing, talking about, oh, they cutting food stamps. People gonna be prostituting and selling this and selling that for the low. Y'all think everything a joke. Y'all, oh, they need to get a job. Y'all laughing, making jokes about people that's not gonna receive their food benefits. And I know it's all racist, but blacks, y'all should be ashamed of thinking it's funny that somebody not gonna get food stamps. Cause y'all the same black people that say y'all deserve reparation for the stuff that was done to y'all ancestors. Yeah. Y'all say y'all deserve reparation from this country for the stuff that was did to y'all ancestors, but then y'all laugh at the blacks that's not gonna receive food assistance. Make it make sense. That's ignorant to me, bro. And I know a lot of y'all be sleepers and y'all ain't woke as y'all think y'all wanna be, or y'all just wanna be comedians y'all whole life, so y'all get on social media and wanna joke and think everything a laughter and blah blah blah, trying to cover up your own, whatever it make you feel better. But that's ignorance to me when I think about that. Because don't be on here talking about Your ancestors that y'all deserve reparation for what happened to y'all ancestors, and then be laughing about these people not giving some of your kind food benefits to feed their hungry kids or to take care of themselves this month. No matter the reason, no matter the gender, no matter the race, no matter none of that. A person who call themselves black should be the last person laughing at somebody else for not receiving something. Cause y'all are laughing stock of America. So stop playing. God bless y'all. Have a beautiful day. Yeah.
Parents.
We're the livestock of America. We might be. You know, that might have been the only thing he said in there that was factual. And the reason we might be is because we got people out here looking like him, looking crazy and being ignorant because he's calling everybody else ignorant. But in my opinion, he sounds pretty ignorant. And I can unpack that, right? Because he said basically his whole issue was the fact that you have people online who are, I guess, laughing about people losing their Section 8. But last time I checked, it was people online who was throwing it and laughing in other people's face at the fact that they was getting so much Section 8 or, just benefits in general, right? So that's mute. That's a stalemate. But ultimately, his thing is, that there are single mothers out here who, are having problems, and that's basically his argument. But in my opinion, if you ask me, he looks like he creates single mothers. I'm just gonna call it out. I would imagine he has some kids, and I would imagine I'm not a betting man. If I had to bet, he's got kids, and he's got multiple kids by multiple women. I would bet. I would bet it. So step up then. And if he wants to dispute it, he can dispute it. But I will bet that. And then on top of that, he looks like he can get the benefits on both sides of the coin. Let me explain. Like I said, I would guess that he has some children by different mothers, and he's not with them anymore. But then the second end, why I think he's so passionate about this is just my opinion, based off me going off the nonverbal cues, is that he probably also deals with women and dates women who are using benefits. And then he looks like somebody like the guys when we see the women get evicted and there's a dude in there who's not saying nothing. He looks like that guy. He looks like that guy, that stereotypical guy. And yeah, I would imagine that, like I said, he's on both sides of this spectrum that we're talking about here. And just from the look and just from the way he communicates. But these are assumptions. That's what I said. I don't even have to say allegedly because I said this is just my opinion.
Now, I'm so glad you young ladies are seeing now what's going on was really real with these food stamps. So many women are in an uproar about their food stamps and how they're going to feed their children because you have so many of them. And then you look at this TikTok app and you see how these men downrating y'all and talking about y'all, talking about if y'all hadn't had all these children and what do you expect? And not once have they came to y'all rescue and said something like this. Well, if the baby dads need to stand up and help these women take care of their children. Now they ain't gonna talk. They ain't gonna speak up for you. They gonna talk about y'all and how stupid y'all was for having kids by these men. They gonna tell y'all something like this. You should have picked the right men. You should have had better choices men. But I'm gonna tell you this. Now you're learning to keep your legs closed. Stop letting these jokers sleep with you, impregnate you, and now you making videos because.
Listen, man. So which side do you fall on? Because you just came on here and you said that dudes was shaming them, saying that they should have picked better when they and really it doesn't even come down to picking better. Why are you having so many as a single person? You know you can't take care of all these kids by yourself. So why are you having so many and you're not in a foundational relationship with somebody to where you all have some form of commitment, that you can count on that person, you know? But then she turns around and she shows that she's actually on the side of pick better, have better discernment. So why did she even say that whole first part?
Because you can't afford to feed them. And guess what them jokers doing? Out there spreading somebody else's legs, doing the same thing, and making videos about you and how you should have made the right choices in men. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you facts. Stop sleeping with these jokers now. And I'm glad the government doing what they doing. These men gonna be hurt. Cause you women gonna see what's going on now when you don't get no help. You think you ain't get no help from the man, your baby daddies. Boy, look what's going on now, because the government cutting everything out. And I just made a video, God dog, they even cutting the job corps. Stop sleeping with these men, and then they can't make no videos. They gonna start making videos about how hard it is with them working 2 jobs because they gotta take care of family and their kids and step up to the plate. I wanna see these videos when these men start talking about how hard they gotta work when you women stop opening y'all legs. That's what I wanna see.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's already so rampant. It's kind of, I mean, how do you retroactively go back? Because a lot of the damage is already done. So, I mean, it sounds good, and we want to try to get the people before then, but I think the main thing is, of course, what she said. Stop making these decisions. But for some people, they're already in the position. And it sounds like that's the people that she's talking about. So they can't just go back and not have these kids. You know, this is going to be a 20-year commitment, you know, from age 0 to age 18, 20 years old. So, you know, I agree, but I think it's a little bit scattered. Just focus on the main problem so we don't get too distracted. Because a lot of times when we bring up the core issue, but then we try to lighten the blow by then also putting some responsibility on, you know, something that, you know, that it doesn't, we didn't have to bring up people online reacting. There's people online reacting to all type of things, or laughing and joking. It's people on these benefits, like I said, that's online joking around and acting like it's a game. So let's just focus on the real issue, which is yes, stop taking on responsibilities that you can't handle, and possibly even, you know, make sure you're actually in a solid situation before you decide to do permanent decisions, ultimately. We'll leave it there. It's going long. Like the video. Also, subscribe if you want to join the Legion. Cash App link below if you want to buy your boy iced coffee and tip the channel. And also feel free to join the Patreon where I post self-improvement content. Until then, I'll catch you in the next video.